And I will tell you, it's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
It was an unforgettable moment of forgetting.
The third one I can't, sorry. Oops.
For 53 excruciating seconds in a pivotal debate, Texas Governor Rick Perry lost both his train of thought and something much more important.
Well, I think you can see an incident where charisma was destroyed. Perry is attractive, handsome, comes on strong, I'm a leader. So I think there was a beginning of a feeling that Perry was quite charismatic. And then when he had this fumble of not being able to remember the names, you could almost see a building charisma then which was punctured.
Professor Joseph Nye of the Harvard Kennedy School says though we may not like to admit it, winning personalities do win elections.
Charisma is a sense of personal magnetism that some people have. There is an attractiveness that leads some people to be able to get others to follow them by their personality.
Most American voters ultimately don't vote on specific policy questions. So they're responding to something, and it's often charisma.
It's who they like.
It's whom they like.
But what exactly is charisma? Mark Oppenheimer, who teaches at Yale, has studied the subject.
It's from the Greek, and it generally refers to a gift, to something freely given, something you didn't necessarily have to earn or deserve, but it's this talent or unique capability that you have. It came from the gods, really.
On the campaign trail, it can be simply divine.
Lead this country.
The power of charisma. That personal connection is why Rick Santorum glad-handed his way through all 99 Iowa counties.
How are you?
Thanks so much. How you doing?
Why Mitt Romney has focused like a laser on projecting naturalness and warmth.
Thank you so much for all your help.
But when it comes to genuine charisma, Republican candidates have a tough act to follow.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Well, Reagan had this extraordinary ability to use humor, to project this warmth of personality.
In fact, in a new Sunday morning poll ranking the most charismatic presidents, Reagan came in third, behind Bill Clinton and John F. Kennedy, but first among Republicans. With the bar that high, does a talented but bland politician have a prayer?
We've had low charisma presidents. I don't think anyone ever accused Papa Bush of being particularly charismatic. I think the younger Bush, while he was kryptonite for some voters, he was also compelling to others. He projected a certain kind of ease with himself, a certain kind of humility. But his father, I don't think anyone found his father particularly compelling as a persona.
But charismatic or not, George H.W. Bush did win, which supports Oppenheimer's view that charisma, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder.
Look, nobody has universal charisma.
Thank you. God bless you.
I think Barack Obama connects with a lot of people as charismatic, but obviously there are people who loathe Barack Obama, and the same thing was true of Reagan, and the same thing was true of John F. Kennedy.
'Cause you've got personality. Walk.
It's true of non-politicians as well. Who do you consider charismatic? George Clooney, Derek Jeter, Oprah? How about the Cookie Monster?
Now, what starts with the letter C?
Well, charisma. What else? So what about you? You think you have charisma? Wouldn't we all like to believe that we just radiate magnetic charm all the time? Well, here at MIT's Media Lab, researchers say that with this little device, they actually can use science to measure your charisma, assuming, of course, that you have some to measure. Okay, so I'm wearing this thing.
Yes.
This is going to tell me how charismatic I am?
It's going to tell me about how you move and how you speak.
I better start moving more.
Yeah, well, you could decide to do that. Yeah.
It's called the sociometer. The brainchild of Professor Alex Pentland and his team at MIT, it measures not what you say, but how you say it.
So the first thing is energy. You have to be energetic. It shows up in your hands, shows up in the voice, the way you sort of carry yourself and do things.
You talk with your hands a lot. Is that a conscious?
If I want to be charismatic, I have to be energetic.
And according to my sociometer, I need to work on it, which is too bad because high scorers have a real advantage. Take what happened when the sociometer was used to measure the impact of charisma on business decisions.
We could predict how well the business plan would be rated without knowing anything about the business plan, without knowing anything about the person. And the two things that really mattered were, did they sound like they were excited? And were they very consistent and fluid in how they produced the speech?
When the rest of the world sees you, what do they see? How do they take that in?
If the world's not impressed, don't give up. Charisma can be taught. Or so says John Neffinger, an Ivy League law school grad who now runs workshops for the Charisma Challenged.
To make sure that you are emotionally connecting with them in a way that they get you and maybe even see themselves in you.
Neffinger and his partners at K&P Communications define charisma as a combination of strength and warmth, beginning again with body language.
Our older relatives probably told all of us at one point, stand up straight, smile. And that is actually the basic formula. Standing up straight says, I am here to be taken account of, I am here to be taken seriously, don't mess with me, and that projects strength. On the other hand, smiling genuinely projects a lot of warmth.
Reagan and a smile that projects both warmth and strength.
There are two different things going on in the face. And so on the bottom half of the face is just a little bit of a smile. So you got warmth going on the bottom. That's where the warmth is coming from. But what goes on in the eyes, there's an intention to the look in the eyes. There's a determination. And that intensity connotes strength.
An intensity and charisma that President Obama's fans feel he showed in 2008, but fear he's lost in the dreary business of governing.
One of the things that Barack Obama does that gets in his way a little bit is often when he's giving a speech or a more formal address, he'll raise his chin a little bit. And when he raises his chin, that has some authority to it, but it also distances himself from us. And what happens is literally, he's looking down his nose at us. It makes him seem arrogant.
If I get a little off track, she brings
Neffinger's just as hard on Mitt Romney, the favorite in Tuesday's New Hampshire primary.
There's a big gap.
He looks like the kind of person that a movie producer would cast as the president in a big movie. But it's not quite that easy.
What's wrong?
He tries to ham it up a little bit, and he's got that big smile out there, and gosh darn it, he's going to be friendly, and it comes off as a little ingratiating, which is to say he wants to be likable, but he's not necessarily actually caring about the way people are feeling. It seems fake.
Real charisma is hard to fake, and in the new Sunday morning poll, 3 out of 4 voters say that indefinable something will play a role in their vote. 1 in 4 says a major role. Not everyone finds this reassuring.
I would not like to see in a democracy people voting simply on whether a person has a nice smile or a glad hand, because sometimes that can lead to disastrous policies.
But in an election dominated so much by television, that seems to be a big risk.
And that's one of the great dangers we have, which is as it becomes more of a mediated phenomena, what do we really have?
Charisma.
Charisma.
'Cause you've got personality, walk with